So I just made a defensive guard that has a lot of defense, guys. We're talking about a decent perimeter defense, but most importantly, that steal rating. Which one of these three players here do you think I was actually trying to make? Actually, you guys should already know because it's the title of the video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys the perfect and new Swipa build for you guys. It's going to be a Swipa Replica build. We're going to make it a Swipa Replica build anyway, and we're going to give De'Aaron Fox the build that he deserves and the name that he deserves. Because let's face it, with the way that his build is actually made, and I will tell you guys how exactly it is made. You guys can also go ahead and go to NBA2K23 and check it out for yourself. But if you guys want to know how his build is made and how I made this build, and we compare the two, I'm going to show you exactly how I made this build. So obviously I made him have a bigger wingspan so we can guarantee ourselves being able to have the 99 steal rating, and also it's not like we're going to have a lot of finishing. So pretty much we did something similar to where we had a decent driving dunk but not the highest driving dunk. We had a decent driving layup and close shot. However, we don't have as high of stats as they technically have on there. Now their 3-point rating makes sense here because they have an 84 mid-range with a 69 3-point rating, but the only problem with that or the only problem that I have with that is he's a little bit better of a 3-point scorer, at least this season anyway, averaging over 38% from the 3-point line. So obviously more than his career. I mean, this is probably, if I remember properly, I think this is like his best season so far from beyond the arc. But then also it's like his mid-range, it's not like he shoots a lot of mid-ranges, and he's definitely getting better from the 3-point line, so I decided to give him at least a better 3. And we have pretty much like similar stats here to where they gave him a 77 pass accuracy. I only gave him the 75. It's not like he's a playmaker like that anyway, so it's kind of similar. Gave him an 85 ball handling. They usually have an 86 there, and 90 speed with ball when they usually have a 91 speed with ball on his build. 38 interior defense because that's just what it went up to. And then they gave him a 74 perimeter defense when I gave him an 86. They gave him a 42 steal rating. I gave him a 99. There's a reason why he's called Swipa, because he's really, really good at getting steals. You would not be called Swipa if you couldn't get steals. So obviously I gave him a 99, and then I gave him a high block rating. Now what you could do is you can tone down the block rating a little bit. I only gave him a block rating just because he's actually a good blocker. One of his recent games, at the time recording this anyway, against the Suns, he actually recorded 3 blocks and averaging half a block per game. And for a point guard, that's pretty dang good. So I decided to give him at least a block rating. Now, what you guys could do is obviously just tone the block rating down a lot and then put those points into speed and acceleration, because obviously I feel like he does deserve a lot higher speed and acceleration. But in terms of making the build actually useful, I kind of had to sacrifice a little bit of that while still having a high enough speed and acceleration. But for me, obviously, I just went with the realistic version of him to where he's able to get blocks, he's able to grab rebounds. He's averaging 5 rebounds a game right now with 6 assists, as well as averaging 1 steal and then half a block per game right now, where he's shooting 52.2% from the field altogether, and shooting a very good 38.4% from the field. So I mean, he's able to grab boards. He's averaging 5 boards a game, which is really, really good, and averaging 6 assists per game, which is pretty good. So I mean, he's still got a pass accuracy, but it's not like he's 100% the best. So that's the only reason why I made this build like this. But obviously I'm going to turn this build into the replica build. So what exactly we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do exactly what I did in my last video. If you guys missed the last video, go ahead and go check that out. There will be a card at the end of this video if you guys want to check it out. It'll be on the end screen. Or if you guys just want to go to my channel, it's literally the last video that's titled you can make any NBA 2K23 build a replica build by doing this. So if you guys want to actually check that video out for yourself and actually learn how to do this, then by all means go ahead and do it. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do all this just so I can show you guys when I do make the build. It's actually called Swipa. So if anything, I will be right back, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I went through all that, made sure that Swipa was now available to us by doing exactly what I did in the last video with the roster and everything. So I'm just gonna make sure everything is correct on here. So boom, boom. All right, now we just gotta make sure that everything stays the same here. 80, we have an 85, 76, I have an 80 here, 75 there, 71, then we have a 75, 85, 90, a 38, 86, 99, 68, and we have a 35 with an 80, up to 40. All right, there we go. So there's that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have extreme clamps, because why not? And then I'm not necessarily like a passer like that, so I'm just gonna go finishing moves just for our layups and stuff, because of why not. Or we can just go double lock take. But here you guys see we have Swipa, which is not actually Swipa, but you guys see that right there. So I'm just proving it to some people, because I know some people are having issues. And once again, I will definitely go into the description below and show you guys and actually like leave the Reddit post in the description. So if you guys need like another way of following along, they will actually have it down there. They'll also have the chart there for wingspan, because I know some people are having a little bit of an issue with wingspan. Some people understand it, some people are still having a little bit of issues, but regardless, I still appreciate everybody that's stopping on by. This is the true Swipa build. In my personal opinion, this is pretty much as close as you're going to get to real life Swipa. I know it's not going to be exactly 100%, because I know Swipa is a little more athletic. He's definitely one of the fastest people in the league right now, so his speed and acceleration could be a little bit higher. Speed ball could be higher. But like I said, I mean, you're like, it's not going to be 100% accurate to real life, because obviously we are limited to so much. But obviously, the way that this build is made, I feel like it's pretty dang close to how he is in real life. Obviously, you guys can do whatever the hell you want. I'm just showing you guys this. Everything is literally the exact same from what I originally showed you. And when I originally showed you guys the build, you guys seen that it was called like a two-way inside the arc scorer, or whatever the hell it was. But as you can see, it's literally the same exact thing. All I did was just change the number to 00, honestly, just to guarantee that it didn't screw up with the numbers. But I know a lot of people that are also having issues, that are thinking that it's possibly the wingspan. It could possibly be the wingspan just glitching out, or it also could be the number. So just keep in mind to only use numbers that are not being used by other players, but also isn't retired. That's also a big key thing. So it's like you can use 00 unless there's a player using 00, or using like a very high number like 99 or whatever the case may be. But definitely check the rosters for the team that specific player is on, and then make sure that the number that you're wanting to use is not a retired number, or a number that you want to use. Make sure that it's a retired number, or it's not a retired number, and that another player isn't using it. So if it's a number that you want to use and it's retired from that team, it's just going to change the number anyway. You're not going to be able to use it once you import the player DNA, because although you can choose any number in the player, like in the create a player, it's just because you're not on a set team. Once you're on a set team, it's going to change your player number, but then you can also change the number there as well. So you can edit it, change the number, and then make it to where it's pretty good. I know somebody was having issues saying that it was changing their number. Just make sure that you're using a number that isn't retired or being used by another player. Otherwise, you should be good as long as you have the attributes, the body type, and everything like that. Make sure your shoulder width is at 50. I don't really think that it matters too much, but I keep it 50 just because it's in the middle. And then also, like I said, I kind of explained the chart a little bit when it comes to wingspan, but like I said, the Reddit post will actually have it down there as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment your feedback in the comment section below. But other than that, we have Swipa. We have a build that's very, very good at defense, specifically at ripping the ball, is really fast with the ball, can shoot the 3 ball, but not consistently, got to be wide open, is able to finish at the rim as well. Not going to be super fantastic at, you know, finishing over other players, but it's definitely going to be good to be able to get that fearless finisher activated, getting slithery finisher as well. Even giant slayer is just going to be very, very huge on this build as well. And then also for defense, we made it to where we can get chase down artist on silver because we have a good block rating. It's going to be pretty good to have that block rating. But we have the 86 perimeter defense as well, just to make sure we get that gold challenger and silver clamps as well, just in case we wanted to use that. But I will say this, 100% a Swipa build or a defensive build is the way to go, especially if you are going for level 40. 100% go to level 40, get those badge core badge patterns, because there is a badge pattern that has 2 defensive badges that you can core. So if you can core 2 badges, definitely core challenger and glove. That would be super awesome. And then afterwards you can use interceptor and clamps if you so want, if you're not going to use any of these. But obviously glove and challenger is going to be very good as well. So you core both of those, you can use clamps and interceptor. That's going to create 14. Then you have 12 badge points to use everywhere else. So off ball pass 4, that gives you 8 more badge points to use everywhere else, which is pretty damn good. But anyway, that's going to be it for me, guys. Hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.
Bitch, start tripping, now I'm blue. Mega man, I can't wait for losing, cause I got too many haters, man. Used to be the paper.